Okay, so we all know that the Pokemon card market has been going crazy lately. But keep in mind that every crazy hype has a golden opportunity in it. There are multiple sets available on the market today that are actually pretty affordable, but have the potential to become extremely valuable in the future. So in this video we're gonna cover all of these underrated sets that in my opinion have the chance to become really valuable in the future. The first set that we're gonna talk about has actually become more valuable lately, but I think that has the potential to become even more valuable. Because the first set we're gonna talk about is Crown Zenith. If you take a look at the set list from Crown Zenith, you can see that it contains a lot of fan favorite cards, like the Pikachu, it contains the Leafeon, Glaceon, it also has all of the dog cards like the Entei, Suicune, and let me see, also the Raikou card. So it contains a lot of cards that people like. You can also see that some cards are starting to become more valuable, like the Riolu, Pikachu, like the Entei cards, but also like the more chase cards like the gold cards from Arceus, Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia. Now overall, a set becomes valuable based on how many chase cards and fan favorite cards the set has. Now Crown Zenith has a lot of chase cards, but also a lot of fan favorite cards like I just said. Like I just showed you, it doesn't only contain the Pikachu, Leafeon, Glaceon, all of that cool stuff, but also a lot of cool gold cards like the Arceus, Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia. And a lot of people just love these cards because they look awesome. Also, Crown Zenith is the last special set from the Sword and Shield era, and usually the last special set from an era becomes pretty valuable. If you look at, for example, evolutions from the X and Y era, that set also become valuable over time. And it's the exact same thing for Cosmic Eclipse at the end of the Sun and Moon era, because Cosmic Eclipse kind of started pretty low, but it contained a lot of cards that people liked. And over time, this set started to become more and more valuable. And I think that Crown Zenith has the same potential. Now also keep in mind that Crown Zenith has extremely good pull rates. Compared to other sets from the Sword and Shield era, it's pretty easy to actually get good cards from Crown Zenith. And people just love to open packs and have a very high chance of getting a good card. So that's also a factor why this set might become very valuable. Now the market price of Crown Zenith ETBs are already pretty high because they're going for around $170. But if you're gonna take a look at the Cosmic Eclipse Elite Trainer box, you can see that ETBs already go for over $700. And like I just said, Cosmic Eclipse was the last set from the Sun and Moon era. So based on all these factors, I think that Crown Zenith is gonna become a really valuable set. By the way, I also made a free ebook about Pokemon card investing, which you can download completely for free in the description. So make sure to check it out in the description. Next set that we're gonna talk about is Twilight Masquerade. Now in my opinion, Twilight Masquerade is really an underrated set. Twilight Masquerade is a more recent set from the Scarlet and Violet era, but I'm still pretty mind blown on how cheap these packs actually go for. Because if you look at the set list from Twilight Masquerade, it's actually insane in my opinion. But maybe that's also because I'm a Greninja fan, but that doesn't matter for now. Now if you're gonna look at the most expensive cards from Twilight Masquerade, the first thing that you can actually see is that the number 13 card from the set is already over $20. Usually the top 7 cards of a set are over $20, but this set actually starts at number 13 already. Now this set contains a lot of cool cards. It doesn't really have a lot of fan favorite cards. It has a couple of them like this Chansey, which also is a Snorlax, which people just like, but there are a couple of cards that people really love. For example, this Illustration Rare. This card already goes for over $80 because people just love the card. Now Twilight Masquerade also have 2 expensive trainers, which is Carmen and Baron, which actually goes for over $100. And the most expensive card from Twilight Masquerade is the Greninja EX, which almost goes for $400. Now this set is really comparable to the set Lost Origin from the Sword and Shield era. If you're gonna take a look at the most expensive cards from Lost Origin, you can actually see that it's kind of the same. Because Lost Origin doesn't really have a lot of expensive cards except for the top 3. Because on number 3 is Pikachu VMAX at over $60, then Aerodactyl V at over $140, and then the number 1, which is in my opinion kind of comparable to the Greninja, which is gonna be the Giratina V for over $600. Now when Lost Origin was about the age of Twilight Masquerade is today, this Giratina almost went for also around, let me see, around $400. And in the last couple of months, Lost Origin started to become more valuable. Now today a Lost Origin booster box goes for over $500, while the Twilight Masquerade box goes for around $270. And don't get me wrong, that's still pretty expensive, but in my opinion this set is kind of comparable Evolved to Lost Origin. So if you would buy this box and keep it sealed for around 2 years, it has a potential to get a 2x. So of course this video doesn't have any financial advice, it's just my personal opinion and the things that I personally invest in. However, based on all these factors, I think that Twilight Masquerade is just an awesome set. Now, it's awesome that you're actually watching this video about Pokemon card investing. But if you want to take your investments to the next level, make sure to check my Pokemon course in the description. It teaches you step by step how to start making profitable investments without any experience needed, and you can start with a budget as low as $10. And trust me, this is not some random course like any of the other ones, because I actually put my heart and soul into this course to make it the best course as possible for you. So it's really focused on helping you to become a profitable investor. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure to check the first link in the description. The next set that we're gonna talk about is Brilliant Stars. Now, Brilliant Stars hasn't been hyped as much as any other Sword and Shield sets, because sets like Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies have actually been going crazy lately. And although Brilliant Stars is also starting to become more expensive, it's not following the extreme hype of Fusion Strike. Now, even though this set hasn't been hyped as much as other sets, it still has a lot of crazy valuable cards. There's also a couple of valuable Charizards inside of the set, and the first one is this Charizard V. It also contains a Sylveon V, and the Umbreon V alt art, which is also really a fan favorite Pokemon because people just love the evolutions. It also has the Sylveon V Max, a Arceus V, and also even an Umbreon V Max. And then the top two are two incredible Charizard, which are the Charizard V-Star Rainbow, and lastly the Charizard V alt art, which is almost $200. Now, like I explained at the beginning of this video with Crown Zenith, sets usually become more valuable based on the amount of chase cards and the amount of fan favorite cards a set has. And Brilliant Stars has a lot of both of them. So because of that, I think that Brilliant Stars is just a great set. And set number 4 is gonna be Paldean Fates. Now, Paldean Fates is a shiny special set, which Pokemon made a couple of times. And almost every single time Pokemon made a shiny set, people just loved it instantly. Now, Paldean Fates has a lot of expensive shiny cards which people just love. By the way, if you want to see the most valuable cards of a set yourself, I use this site, which is thegamer.com. Anyway, the top 5 cards of this set are the Iono, which is almost $38 already. There's also a shiny Pikachu, which is almost $50. And the top 3 cards of this set is actually pretty incredible, because the number 3 is the Gardevoir over $90, the Charizard almost at $200, and the number 1, the Mew EX or the Bubble Mew, at almost $350. Now, Paldean Fates is starting to get pretty difficult to get because a lot of people actually want to have the set. And because in my region there's more question than demand, the price is starting to go up a lot. Now, because Paldean Fates is a shiny set, it has a lot of chase cards and also has a lot of cards that are really valuable, I think that Paldean Fates is also a great investment. And the last set that we're gonna talk about today is Journey Together. Now, 2 months ago I really wouldn't include this set in this list because the set was just really overhyped. Because when the set was released, booster boxes went for about $300, which in my opinion was just a little bit too extreme. However, the prices of Journey Together in the past couple of weeks have been going down a lot. Now, Journey Together booster boxes went for around $200 before the release, when you could start pre-ordering them, but at the release, boxes went for around $275. However, after the release, it was starting to get way more easy to get booster boxes, and because of that, the prices dropped a lot. Now, I think the Journey Together was just at a really high price when it got released, but now, since the hype is decreasing, the price is also decreasing. And don't get me wrong, Journey Together is actually a pretty good set, but it's not just as insane as, for example, Destined Rivals. Now, I think that there's a big opportunity right now. Now, the biggest hype of this set has actually faded away. I think that's an awesome timing right now to start investing in Pokemon cards, because there's just a lot of opportunities to make a lot of money. However, without the right knowledge and experience, you might end up losing a lot of money because you just make beginner mistakes. So if you want to learn step by step how to start investing in Pokemon cards, make sure to check my Pokemon card investing course in the description. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.